What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Greezy, and today we're going to go over a how to play Thermite guide for you here in Rainbow Six Siege. And so we're loaded in on here on the map of Clubhouse, because this is a map that I've probably done a lot of videos on, but I really enjoy this map. And it's one of those maps that's especially strong for Thermite. It's a map where every attacking round you want to have a Thermite up, because every site that you can play on, that the defense will play on, is going to be needed a Thermite to open up, or open up a certain wall, maybe a couple walls, or maybe even like a hatch. You have a better chance at getting into the site and having pressure added. So I normally, all the time, like I do in the last couple of videos, I always spawn over here on construction. And so we'll kind of start off a little backwards. The majority of the time, probably teams are going to start upstairs over there in that cache and CCTV site. But we'll kind of go over here and we'll kind of work our way across the map from here on this one. But keep on, when you're playing Thermite, again, you are the hard breacher, so a lot of people are going to maybe call it the hard support. And so what's going to happen there is you really want to think about in your drone or prep phase time, when you're droning, you really want to try and hold on to your drone as much as possible. So majority of the time when I get into the map, I have my drone, I don't even almost take it into the map. Like, I'll kind of wait and see, like I'll put it maybe over here to listen, so I can hear maybe people running around, so I can confirm they're upstairs, or until we get a drone maybe that goes and confirms it. Or watch over here to see if they come running down the hallway to get in the kitchen to put the hatch up. But as soon as that happens, I take my drone and I bring it all the way back over to my spawn. So I'm almost always in spawn over here on construction. And that way I can pick it up, and then I have two drones to always use through the match. And so when you're support as well, you only want to think about what you're doing where you're spawning. You don't want to be in a spot that's overly accessible to like spawn peaks, or you want to be kind of wary of those. So as a hard breacher also, especially when you spawn into the map, really be wary of spawn peaks. I don't care what map you're on. If you know there's common spawn peaks, or you want to learn the common spawn peaks as well of what map you're on. So when I spawn over here, I will normally jump up on top of that like you saw me do when I start, and then I'll pre-fire right through this soft wall. If I see if it's soft, or if somebody has a drone that's watching it, and maybe they're late getting over to open it, I pre-fire through this every time. Just maybe you might get a lucky hit, you might get a headshot, you might get a lucky kill, or at least you might damage somebody and cause little damage, so they're easier to kill throughout the round. But also sometimes, I mean, it doesn't happen as often in rank, but sometimes they might throw a grenade and open it to try and spawn peek as well. So that's just what you want to think about there. Maybe this, but a lot of times it could be this door as well. So when you jump up on top of this, I'll kind of show you what I mean. You can jump up here, and then you have a clean line to watch. So if they're trying to spawn peek, they're usually going to be looking straight out, or looking for someone running over there. So I get up here and then I look and see if they're spawn peeking. I'll pre-fire. I'll even pre-fire on the corner right there, because sometimes they might jump up on that and wait and watch. So you can just kind of watch where all the spawn peeks are. The most common one for this one though is going to either be someone sitting at this door, or always it's going to be someone up here on this window. So you want to make sure you watch out for those. And then when that comes around, you want to think about what you're going to do. So when you're support, your goal when you initially start is you want to be droning. I usually try to drone for the first 45 seconds, minute of the round, especially about like my entry. So if there's maybe a Buck on my team, Ash, maybe Zoph, maybe even IQ, I'll drone them in. So I won't even worry about maybe really droning down here, even though I'm trying to open up one of these walls with my Thermite. I'll throw a drone down right over here on this door, or that door, depending on where my Ash or my entry is trying to push in from. And then I'm going to drone out the whole area. So I'm going to wait for them to get next to that door, or I'm going to drone that room out, then they go to the next room over. So like we're right here, I'll throw my drone, and then I'm going to drone out to see if maybe there's someone sitting in here, if there's any holes in the floor to watch, or even drone to see the ceiling. So maybe there's someone that's got holes in it playing upstairs. I can call that out, and at that point I can even try and drone it up to that area and drone them out. So we can get up here, drone them out, see if they're up here, and try and get them to push out of this room, or distract them so your guy can get in through the freezer or the window and try and work their way up, even up the stairs potentially, or try to work just until they're in a position so they can watch this staircase down, if maybe someone's trying to come up as well to help that player if they call it out, or wait for them to come down, or listen for the rotate when they go across the map. And then at that point, I'm going to drone them in. I'm going to look and see. We're going to drone out the bar. I'll drone out billiards. Then I'm going to put it in a spot that can watch to make sure there's nobody trying to flank, nobody trying to move around. So a lot of times I'll even get it up a little bit higher, just so it's in a better spot, and then angle it so it's still somewhere people can turn and look around, but it's somewhere that's going to be very high traffic area. So I put an aim route right here towards the bar. So you have an angle of the doorway, someone trying to rotate or someone trying to flank. And also you can even have it so it looks at this doorway and that doorway. So that way you can have it also where someone's dead. Once you get off, they can get on, and then they have a good degree of movement to see all this area. From there, you want to think about it. So if they're downstairs, my goal when I try to open up the wall is something that's going to be helpful. So at that point, I'm also then going to take my second drone. I'll drone down dirt. So if there isn't anyone playing dirt at all, I'll just open up this main wall right here just so we get in easy. But normally if there is maybe someone playing there, I'm going to open up this side one right here. That way it's not like it's just this open area. So maybe someone's maybe late trying to get around or wanting to help push down. It's not just this open spot. They can sit behind that 2x4 or the 4x4 right there and then just start picking people off. At that point, they have to be a little bit better positioning from that point, because when this gets opened, it's going to make it a lot harder for them to have an easy angle potentially. And that way you can have them push up, they can try and push down and open that up. From there, so say maybe there's a Habana band. Potentially, normally you're not going to try and open this hatch with your Maverick up. That's going to be really hard to open. So we'll come in through here. And so if you do have a Habana band, my 2 charges at that point are going to be opening up probably that wall and then this hatch to put pressure on them. Depending on how they're going to play it, or if maybe there wasn't anyone playing dirt, we droned it out, and we have the Habana band on the game, I might even just hold on. I'm not going to even worry about opening that wall. Like if maybe we have Maverick up, I might just go have them make a little rotate hole so we can just get in there quickly if we need to rotate down there. But I'm not going to make it a priority to push dirt, even if they're going to give it to us, because at that point it could be even more advantageous to open up maybe this hatch with a Thermite. And then say if they maybe do have that and it's a Thatcher, maybe a Habana band for some reason. Also, if this is kited, what you can do is you can also take your charge and you can just put it on the ground next to it. Not too close, because that way the electric, like the little things are shocking out, don't jump out and hit it. But you can put it relatively close to the hatch, just like that, and it's going to open that hatch. It's going to have enough force, it'll open it up. So you can do that, and it'll always open up the hatch every time. It makes it easier for people to shoot underneath. That's also when you want to have, probably on your team, you're probably going to have someone playing either Sledge, maybe Buck, or Zofia. So they can come through and they can open up this floor and try and flush out the players that are back here. But then your priority trying to get that open. And then from there, I might even at that point come down and hold on to my other charge to open up, try and open up maybe this wall, or the blue wall as well. But that's not the most common thing to do. That's more if you have a higher strat team, or if you have a team that's a little bit higher, like in the higher plats, that are more 5-stack. Even in a 5-stack, I might think about doing it. But I just really think about trying to make the best angles I can for my team to have the best advantage on the site. Okay. And then at that point, I'll get on to the other side as well, so we can kind of go over the CCTV room and cash room upstairs. So we can go over that site as well for you. Some better angles you want to open up. What could be better walls open up as well. And so we'll try and keep this video still kind of short, but I'll make sure I get as many sites covered as we can for you. Alright, now we're loaded up again here so we can go over the next site for you. So I do the same thing. I kind of look for those, especially if they are playing upstairs. We've drawn it out, so we do have, like, you see the bomb up there. That also really helps if you jump up on that box and then do the pre-fires again through this wall. Because at that point, you'll maybe possibly end up getting a nice, easy early kill. Because sometimes teams don't reinforce that very quickly. It comes towards the end of the round. Someone go, oh, we have to go get that wall. They go, oh shit, we didn't reinforce it. Let me go grab it. And you might get a lucky headshot. So there's always thinking about maybe just pre-firing that. You don't need to really empty like half a clip or a whole clip into it. But just bullets through it, you might get lucky. It's just some of those things. But from there, what I do is I go up here again, and I'm going to have my other drone. So I don't have the second drone. It's kind of in the building right now. So we can show you where the bomb was. But once I get up here at this point, my goal at that point now again is to drone. So what we do is try and drone them in, and I'll get on the drone, I'll drone it out, I'll see if they maybe have a bandit that's trying to trick the wall actively, so we have to see how we're going to play that with my Thatcher, or maybe my Cali if we have one, or maybe just Maverick if there's a Thatcher band, see if they can open up little holes so we can get the bandit off that wall. But then from there I'm also going to make sure you drone in again my entry, so I'm either going to drone them in through the stock room over here, so we can drone them in to see if they want to push up and just hit an ash charge maybe, or try and buck it open to push off the bandit, or maybe Zof. Or if they're maybe trying to push into the garage, I can drone up and help them out to get that through. But majority of the time at this point, I'm just trying to make sure you drone this area out so we kind of know where players are playing, how they're going to move, because our priority is really to get this wall open, because it's the main wall. It's going to be right on a site at this point, so it's not totally worried about some of the roamers that could be out there, because I'm still trying to just get the wall. That's my main priority as the hard breach and support, because we're trying to get the wall, because that way I can do my job, and then from there I can kind of worry about maybe where other players are if they're off site, and how we want to try and play around them, or how we want to try and get them flushed out. So from there, once you get that, you want to think about on this site which side of this wall you want to open up, because it's a 2-panel wall. They're always gonna have one here, one here. There's gonna be this little line, so you're right in the middle of the wall, splitting it in half. And so you want to try and go for one side or the other instead of trying to go in the middle, especially if a bandit is actively tricking you. If you get a Thatcher, you want to try and put it to one side or the other, because if you try and put it right in the middle to get the hole in the middle, if he gets his bandit down before it goes off, it's going to hit it, because you're putting on that. So you want to try and get him to go for one or the other, not just go right in the middle, make it easy for him, okay? So when you're playing Thermite at that point, you want to think about where you want to open up. Majority of the time, I really suggest people to open up this left side from outside in what you're looking at, because it does help you the most in what you can try and get accomplished. Because once you get it open, you can kind of come over here, and you're still going to have this wall as protection. Then also helps you not worried about as much in sight. It gives you more cover, so you can try and peek people. So once you get this open, say you do get it open, we'll put the wall up right here on this. And so we'll say you get the wall open, and so you're gonna have this nice little side of the wall as protection, which is always really helpful to have, because then you can try and play off it. Because a lot of times you're gonna see teams have a hard wall here and then a rotate at this point, so it's gonna make it so it's easier to try and cut off other parts of the defense in their site. That way they don't have this easy wall. Because trying to play off this side, saying this was hard with this open, it really narrows down what you can try and work on, because it's really hard to try and shoot through anything here. You might get a lucky wall bang if you have it open, so you're just trying to, you swing and start shooting, but it doesn't really give your team as much advantage, because at that point it's still going to blind you from this side, because you're only going to have, maybe you might have an angle onto the rotate, but it's not terribly great. It depends on how you want to play it, but this way you can have it open up so you can try and help your team take garage a little easier. So you have your players down there, they might have a Bonnie, you might have them over there, a Buck or Sledge, or someone over on the other side to open up the bottom part of the garage, the wall there. And that way they can help you try and take garage. This will be more advantageous for you as well, because then they can't try and swing further down the rafters here to push and keep angles on the door. Doing this, opening this up, is going to help you, so they have to try and either push up so they're behind the hard wall, or if they want to be kind of dumb and get aggro and try and take gunfights, pushing out and swinging on you, you're still going to have more of an advantage, because you have the hard wall to protect you, and you can see what's going to be happening instead of them just trying to swing over and start shooting randomly, hoping they hit somebody. And so you can start helping out, push that, and then you can start working to watch the rotate. Because say you get someone that's on the door pushing up, they're not going to try and work their way down that way, because then they're going to be into your crossfire and someone from down there or underneath. So they're going to start trying to retract further towards the 90 corner and that rotate. And then with you right here, you're going to have the best chance to help cut that off. And then they can start taking that. And then you have your whole team over here pushing to watch this side. And so you're not as worried about it from that point. Because from there, you can try and help your team, because you're more worried about just the one doorway, really. Because once they have control of that, they have to rotate. They're going to have better angles to watch that door and cover that doorway. And so you can have to worry about more of just what's on red. They might rotate there or here, and whoever's playing on red. And then your goal is to try and either get right over here to plant, which is default normally, or some teams now have started going over here, seeing pro plant against this hard wall. It's maybe more of a default, so it kind of switches up every once in a while depending on the meta or how people play it. But a lot of times the default plant was right here. Sometimes you'll try and plant over here, especially maybe if you get this open and you're not sure where players are over here. This could be a safer bet, maybe of trying to run in and get to this wall instead of trying to just sprint straight across with someone sitting over there and maybe getting a lucky shot off, because you probably have someone maybe playing here watching it, but trying to hold this angle isn't going to be the easiest way to really cover everything, because in that angle you only see like top of the stairs, that little platform that's down. So there maybe could be someone trying to play up against this wall to watch you as well. They could be trying to play over here, watching for running, and this guy can't see that. So you definitely want to try and think about what's going on. That's why you also want to be careful if you push through. It helps you maybe try and push through and go instead of run as well. I always try to do that when I get this wall open. I'll start looking down red unless my team doesn't have garage, but I know it's clear we have a drone there. Maybe someone's watching it. Then I'll try and be a little more careful. I'll push up, then I'll immediately turn as I get closer to the door. So that way I don't know if there's someone sitting there. I look at rotate, and then I go right to the stairs, and then I'll push over and try and get the default. That's how you want to kind of think about it when you get the walls open. You really want to think about which side you want. Your team may like having it, and sometimes you may just end up opening the whole thing, especially if they didn't have anyone for some reason playing over there, or you got the early pick, and your team has a garage before you maybe get the wall open. Just get both sides at that point, because then it can help you out even more. Then you have the whole area to not have to worry about trying to hide. But it depends on how you're going to play it. If you have any ways maybe you play this side differently, let me know down in the comments below. If you have any other map you want me to go over those, well, like maybe what could be the best walls to put up for your thermite charges, what are maybe some better angles you can get with thermite charges, because also there are tricks where if maybe they are banded like on a wall that is inside the building, like on theme park, where you can put your thermite on the soft, if it's a floor that's soft, you can put it and it'll blow out a little section of the wall, so you can shoot off the bandits or anything underneath mute jammers, and then you'll be able to open up the wall also. Let me know down in the comments below any of the maps maybe you want me to go over, maybe you feel like there's something I missed. Let me know how you play thermite. Again, we'll keep it till the next video, boys. Keep it easy, keep it greasy. It's your boy Greezy. I'm out.